Hello and welcome. I have a guest that's doing great work at the moment. We're going to chat about something that's very close to my heart. Today I have Vish, founder of Onward Shift. Hello, Vish. How are you doing?
Hey Jim, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. Thanks so much for giving me your time this glorious Sunday afternoon where you could be spending it with your family.
Not at all, mate. I've actually had a really, really nice morning with my missus. We've done a bit of shopping,
Yeah,
taken the dog for a walk, so I'm fully ready for today. I
nice.
can't lie, I am a bit anxious. It's usually me in your seat, so it is nerve-wracking. So I have a lot more appreciation for guests now than I did half an hour ago.
Yeah, I know. We just discussed off camera there that yeah, when you're hosting, you're in control of it, aren't you? Yeah, you can you're prepared. You've got your structure. You've got your questions. But when you're a guest, it's like, oh, what's he going to do? You don't know what to say. You're anxious. You're going to say the wrong things and that. But don't worry, man. I won't trip you up. I'll look after you.
Hey, thanks, mate. Thanks.
All right. So you're founder of Onward Shift, but by trade, you're an electrician. You've got an electrician's company, yeah? Can you talk us through what Onward Shift is?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, is it possible I can start from before Onward Shift? Because Onward Shift to me isn't just a company. It's not just a business where I'm trying to, make £1 million and retire and, have a yacht. It's not that. For me, Onward Shift is an opportunity to do something good in this world. It's something that resonates with me deeply because I've struggled with mental health for years, man. Like, I don't want to get into the podcast so deep within the first like 3 minutes.
Go for it.
But yeah, I've struggled with mental health so much. I've never spoken about this publicly. So this is the first time I'm actually opening up about it. So if there's sweat dripping off my head, my bad.
Fair play. Nice one.
But yeah, it's I've got ADHD, which has massively controlled a lot of my life. I've also got OCD, so I'm lucky to have two. And the challenges I've had with just those two things in the construction industry, Jim, it's been challenging. It's been
Mm.
really hard, especially in an industry where we're not that, pun intended, but switched on
Yeah.
um, to mental health. We're so fast paced and everything is so quick and it's do this job and then go off to this job and do that job and then go off to this job. And one week you're in, London, the next week you're in Essex, the next week you're in Kent. And, for you, I think you travel all over the country, don't you? So it's even harder for you. But
Mm.
yeah, I started Onward Shift because I struggled with mental health. I still struggle with mental health. I don't deny it. And yeah, Onward Shift to me is just it's a movement to genuinely help as many people as I possibly can before I'm off this planet and wherever I go after.
Mm.
I
Fair
hope that
play.
answers the question.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, thanks for being vulnerable. I think it takes things like that. It's good for people to see people like us being vulnerable and talking about our issues and to then help them to feel like they can do the same. I mean, I've done the same on social media, on LinkedIn and stuff like that, because we are in an industry where, as you know, it's built on toughness, resilience, ego, macho-ness, and people don't want to sort of appear weak, do they? You know, I mean, I know people who haven't wanted to appear weak recently. You know, unfortunately, a good friend of mine tried to take his own life last year. Hasn't spoken about it. Has never actually admitted doing it, but I know he has. Um, and you know, myself, I had a breakdown when I was young. Luckily, I was able to get counselling, you know, which was good. So I was a forklift driver at the time. The company I worked for, they allowed me to go off once a week for counselling. You don't really get that in the industry in construction, do you? You don't really get that luxury. So yeah, I think it's important to get it out there that you can talk about these things. So well done. So
Thank you.
that,
And
that
likewise. You've just shared something which I think you said so comfortably and so easily, but it takes courage and resilience to actually
yeah,
just come out in the open and go, this is who I am, this is who I was. But it
yeah,
doesn't, and I'll be honest, I've followed you on LinkedIn for a while now, and I read some of those personal posts you put out there,
mm,
and I was like, thank God you said that.
mm,
Thank God you said that because I've felt that that, you know, when you just don't feel like you're doing enough, so you consistently hammer away and do more and more and more, and then you get to a stage where you're like, oh my God, I've done so much, but I'm completely mentally exhausted.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember reading your post and I went, man, thank God you wrote that, because that resonated with me so much. And yeah,
Good.
thanks for that.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was I forget what the title was now, but basically themed on just sort of, I think it was what was it called? High functioning anxiety or something like that. But you're always questioning yourself, you're always
Definitely.
chasing your own arse and
That's the
doing
one.
this, that, and the other. And yeah, so I expect you get, because the thing at the end of the day, like yourself, I mean, I work full time and I do my stuff. You own a business and you're doing this as well, so it can't be easy for you.
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I also work. I'm an
What?
employee as
y-
well.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually, again, this is something I haven't shared very often, but I've got a full-time job. I've also got my electrical company, which I do evenings and the occasional weekend.
Wow.
And Onward Shift is also something that I'm super invested in. But I'm actually starting a not-for-profit in helping people public speak as a co-founder. So I'm
Right.
actually getting involved in that, and we've just sent off our application form for that. So yeah.
Bloody hell, mate. How the hell do you find the time to do all of that stuff?
Um, I'll be open about it. I'm just really lucky. I've got an extremely supportive partner. She loves my ambition, and I guess it's just a passion to help people, mate. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm only here for a short amount of time, and if I can help as many people as I possibly can while I'm here, then
Yeah.
I just want to do it. Like, why not? I haven't got kids yet,
Right.
so I've got my dog, which is my baby, my absolute baby. I love him more than anything
Yeah.
in the world,
Yeah.
after my missus, obviously. Um, as long as you balance it well, it
Yeah.
works out all right. So yeah.
Mate, you wait till those kids come, man. Telling you, everything changes. Your priorities. Yeah. I struggle with that balance because, as I spoke to you earlier, I'm in a new location now, so I have to film all these podcasts all in one day, once a month on a Sunday, because my family, my wife, and my daughter, my boy's moved out now. He's grown up more, but they just keep moaning about me on the computer all the time, or taking up the kitchen because I'm on podcasts, or I'm not spending time with my daughter, so she's getting out with me. So yeah, it's really, really, really difficult to find that right balance. It really is. Obviously, you do have to make some sacrifices to do these things, but also you've got to have a life and realize what's important to you.
So what's your drive to do this? Like, I've never really asked you that, but what's your passion? What's your drive to sacrifice your Sundays for this?
It's quite broad actually. So I've got I host two podcasts. So my podcast is to help people get into construction, educate people on construction, educate people on mental health, give others voices, people like yourself voices, and the other podcast I do that because for the same reason basically, and also because I've come into an arrangement with the guy who owns it. He does my website development, we all do, and I do his podcasts. His podcasts, his website and blog is bigger than mine. So the people I speak to, my podcasts will get a bigger reach than
Mm.
possibly than mine would. So I have my construction thing where I help people get into the industry, but it's eventually aiming into, as we've spoken before about this, doing what you're doing, helping on the mental health side. But I have to come established and accomplished in this first. But it's all consuming with the YouTube channel, the blog, and everything else, and the two podcasts. So yeah, so I've just had to just do it this way, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, actually, because it does give me, it's like at home, you have distractions and you feel guilty and stuff like that. So now I can just do this throughout the day, have no other distractions, and just bang them out and take my time speaking to people like you.
Thank you, thank you. And also, I guess for you, me, and everyone else, we've got to keep somehow drumming into ourselves. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I have to do that to myself consistently.
Yeah,
I've got failure is winning tattooed to my arm, but really I should have got it's a marathon, not a sprint.
yeah,
And I need
mate.
that reminder more often.
Yeah, this is the thing for someone. like myself, who when I was young, um, didn't want to live anymore. Now I do things for the long haul, you know. So anything I do, I'm in it for the long haul. So we're in a culture now where everyone wants a quick fix, don't they? Everyone, you know, they want money quickly. They want to learn this quickly. They want that quickly. They don't want to take the organic route, the proper route, where you start from the beginning and you build up. So that's what I'm doing slowly, very slowly.
I think it's
Anyway,
very
enough
interesting.
about me. This is about
So,
you.
so you know, I just find you really interesting. So
Oh, thanks,
obviously,
mate.
yeah. So
No, it's good. It's all
it's
good.
my bad.
No, it's all good. We can have more of that. So, do you think your hands-on experience in construction has shaped your understanding of the mental health challenges we face? Yeah.
Arjun, absolutely. No, no, no questions asked there. It's I could give you some horrific examples of what I've experienced in construction, stuff that has um, genuinely put me in a really, really bad headspace. So I can give you an example now. Um, I was no older than 17, 18 years old. I just started this apprenticeship, and bearing in mind this was, God, I'm 31 now, so what, 12, 13 years ago? The industry was very different then, and it was much more different 20 years ago. But just a decade ago, it was a lot different to what it was now, especially how we treated apprentices. So I'm from the Indian culture, and Indian culture, a tea maker is called a chaiwala, right? So I was working as an apprentice in a property in Park Lane, and there was two guys working there, Kevin and Mark. I won't say their surnames because I don't really want to remember them. But imagine this, right? I was picked up by my shoulders here, slammed into lockers, choked, slapped, kicked, and consistently called a chaiwala. And when I went to the company who no longer exists and told my managers this, they instantly called me a liar. And I
Wow.
said, really? Are you sure I'm lying? Because I swear to you, I'm not lying. I'm being dead serious. This is happening.
Mm,
And it became a whole investigation. They found out I wasn't the only apprentice this was happening to. It
mm.
was a handful. So what happened was it went to HR and all of that stuff. But you know what really shocked me? These guys didn't get fired. They got moved
Yeah.
sites.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was
That's
it.
so. Sorry, that was it in India, was it?
No, no, that was in UK. That was in
That was
Park Lane.
you said Park Lane. Yeah, yeah. So
That's since they're from London.
they were Indian guys.
No, they were white.
Oh right. I was just
Kevin and
thinking.
Mark.
I was just wondering where they got the term dry weller from. So how did they know that term?
I think uh, it's quite a common term,
Is
I
it?
guess. Yeah, I've heard it quite a lot. I
Okay.
think even if you go down some high streets now, there's Indian coffee shops. There's one in where I live in Colchester now, actually. It's called Chaiwala. And I think they're a chain of quite a few branches.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I think it's quite a common word if I guess you know it.
Yeah.
When you know it, you know it, I guess.
Yeah. 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 So basically, they bullied you and got away with it.
Oh, easily. Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
that's just one example.
And that
I've
was right.
I've ex
That was right at the start of your career. So you know, what did you? I mean, did you think to yourself, "Fucking hell, what have I let myself in for?" Did you want to stop it, or did you sort of just think put it behind you, or just put it down to a bad experience and moved on?
Sadly, I lasted with that company for another 6 or 7 months, and
Right.
then I quit. And the reason I quit was because I couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
What I understood about 5 or 6 years later was that become a bit traumatic. And the only reason I understood that 5 or 6 years later was because that's when I saw my first psychiatrist,
Right.
and we had to go through all of these things of why I was the way I was. So I actually left. I actually left the whole industry, and because that was maintenance I was doing. So I went from maintenance into house fashion. So started
Right.
as a sparky, and yeah, I went into house fashion. I worked for it was literally like the owner of the company. The owner of the company had one other guy working for him, and then it was me. So there's only a three man team, and it was a complete different atmosphere in comparison to a huge corporation I work for. Working for a three man, like the three of us in the team, is completely different. Completely different.
Yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, there's banter, isn't there? But you know that's not banter. That is just pure bullying, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And genuinely, I don't. I don't share this often, but it put fear into me. What, like how easily I could be choked out, gasping for air. And
Yeah.
it's actually you don't actually forget that, Jim.
Mm,
You don't forget it for some reason. No matter how much therapy you don't completely forget those situations. So
mm,
yeah,
yeah.
construction does have a bit of a dark side, but I have to admit, I do believe things are changing for the positive. I don't hear of those situations happening as much now.
No.
But that's obviously a topic we can definitely talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the industry then, why it's like it is. Your research shows that 3 point suicide rate is 3.7 times higher than the national average. What makes you think this industry is so particularly vulnerable?
Ah, that's a great question. Um, let's look at some statistics. Chartered Institute of Building brought out they do a mental health survey, and they did one in 2020, and then they carried out one in 2025. And believe it or not, but in nearly every single sector, being let's say anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, fatigue, concentration, all of these different sectors of mental health, every single one increased in those 5 years. Every single one. So now we're
Wow.
looking at, I believe they put out 94% of people in the industry are struggling with stress.
Mm,
I've got it written here. 83% are struggling with anxiety. 27%, that's more than one in four, are having suicidal thoughts. Now, God, where do we start with that? I guess some of the stuff that I've researched is we're overloaded with work, which is absolute because from now to 2028 or 2028, sorry, we need an additional 251,000 workers in construction. That's 83,000 more people in the industry
mm,
every single year. But then when we look at the statistics, every working day, two construction workers are committing suicide. I've got a
mhm.
statistic here um, by it's CITB. It's 47% of apprentices leave before the fourth year. So we're
Mhm.
losing workers every single day, every single year, and we've got to somehow push these numbers up. We can't keep the workers that are already in the industry because they're overworked, poor communication, unrealistic deadlines, the poor planning, inadequate staffing.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
there's a whole manner of things, isn't there? And you touch on a good point there. I mean, Labour wants to build 1.5 million homes in the next 5 years or next few years, and we've got a shortage of trade. So how are we going to do that? Are they going to hire more people, or are they going to just squeeze every last ounce of work out of the people that we've got now and work them into the ground even more? It is that, yeah. I mean, there's pressure, like you say. There's deadlines, finances. You know, the shortage of work. We're taking a bit of a hit at the moment in construction, so people are struggling to find work. You've got pressure from above, haven't you, as well? You've got so managers going down on supervisors, which is going down onto the labourers. I've seen it myself on site. People from my crane, people being screamed at. So I'm 90 meters, excuse me, I'm 90 meters up in the air, and I can hear people being screamed at. You know that's not good. It's not good at all, is it?
That's not. Well, I think you touched on something there which is really interesting because On the Tools, which are quite a fun company, I think, they done a white paper, I think it was last year, and they surveyed 1,405 people, and 65% of them said their own financial situation directly impacts their mental health.
Yeah,
Finance is more
yeah,
than half the industry is struggling with that,
yeah, yeah.
and it's scary. It's really scary.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is difficult. Yeah, I mean the economy is crap in it at the minute. The whole well, it's not always been great in construction, but COVID hasn't helped. I mean, when the cost of living that's going up and the wages aren't going up to match it, it's no wonder why people are stressing out so much about it. But we get onto this a little bit later, actually. But you offer some sort of advice and financial advice and that sort of stuff on the shift, don't you?
So we have got companies we've partnered with that we can signpost people to. We've got career coaches, business coaches, life coaches, we've got counselors, we've got, I think all in all, we've got 20 people on the team that can support.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like like financial advisors and things like that,
Mm.
we don't offer that support, but we do have we can outsource that to a company who we work very closely with, which is super important.
Sure. So let's go back to the people who are struggling. So I've seen a couple. I think I know the answer to this next question because I've seen a couple of LinkedIn posts. But you also mentioned that 59% of construction workers haven't felt able to speak about their struggles. We touched on this earlier. Have you witnessed this in person, firsthand, through your work on site?
I think I've witnessed it just in my own life.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but again, not spoken about this before, but okay, I'll go for it. But growing up, I was sort of never taught about emotions or vulnerability or how to. Yeah, it's an interesting. I spoke to, I spoke to one of my counselors recently, for Onward Shift. He done a podcast with me, and he said men don't have the vocabulary to express how they feel, so they
Mm.
don't bother. And I thought, and I sat there after the podcast, and I went, "Oh my God,
Mm.
I don't. I know anger. I know anger because that's the only emotion I've ever
Mm.
kind of been okay to have. But other emotions I haven't. So I personally haven't been very vulnerable in my life. I haven't been open, considering this is actually the first time I'm sharing that. Um, yeah, it's I don't think it's easy, especially for
No.
men, because who do we go to without being seen weak? Or
Yeah.
who do we go to? And you
Mm.
look at construction, these guys are majority of the gazers, they haven't come from affluent background. Again, this could be I could be completely wrong here, and I will apologize in advance if I am wrong. But I don't come across a lot of construction workers who've come from an affluent background. I've come across uh, an uncountable amount which have come from a council estate, same as me.
Mm.
They've come from a single parent household, same as me. They haven't come from money, same as me. I could, maybe that's just because they're
No, I mean
relatable.
it's we're working class people. It's a working class industry, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched I wasn't going to talk about this actually, but I thought while you said it, I'll talk about talking. I'll bring it up. It was a TED Talk. It was on YouTube. I can't remember the lady's name, but she did this TED Talk, and it was about um, how women can help with mental health or the stigma attached to talking. So let's say you've got a partner and you've got a man that's struggling. Um, he says to his partner, I'm really, really struggling, and she might say to him, or she might look at him like weird, or she might sort of disdain towards it, or think like, well, you're supposed to be the man, you're supposed to be the strong one. And she was saying that the woman can help, she can be more understanding, and she can sort of encourage them to be open and not jog him on and go on to the next one who's a bit tougher. And I'm not saying it's a woman's responsibility, but I just found that an interesting concept that a woman come out of that, and because she said that a male friend phoned her, said he was struggling, and she said, "Thank you. It's such a privilege that you felt that you could come to me." And speak about these things, and they just had it out. They just spoke and cried for an hour and a half, whereas some partners are quite the opposite. What do you think of that?
A really, really interesting topic. I think it's touchy times with that topic. I really do think it's touchy times because I do see a lot of uh, I see a lot of women coming out saying that they're not the emotional support system for men,
Mm.
and sadly, I think that's true. I don't think the burden of male emotions should be only reliant on women, but I
Mm.
do think women play a huge part in supporting their partners, their sons, their nephews, their uncles. I think as a society, we need to stop separating and we need to
Yeah.
start coming together because when we come together, something beautiful happens. And that's maybe just my brain thinking the way it does, but I really believe when men and women come together, we can create so much. We can aspire to so many bigger things, better things. But
Yeah.
right now, I do think men need help, and I think women are a huge part of that. For example, I'll be honest, I've seen 6 therapists. Every single one of them has been a woman, and every
Right.
single one of them has added a complete different perspective to my life.
Mm.
Like in a positive way, in a really positive way.
Mm.
The 2 times that I've been suicidal, I've seen the same therapist, and she changed me from boy to man. She saved me from, you know, from not being here twice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
good.
women play a huge part
Yeah.
in society.
Do you still see a therapist now? Have any counsellors, any maintenance on your mental health?
No,
No?
fortunately not. I've spent a lot of time and money on seeing counselors and
Yeah.
therapists that
Yeah.
I haven't done for about a year and a half. I think I haven't seen a therapist, which is good for my bank account, but also good for my mental health.
Well, yeah. But I mean, sometimes it's. I mean, my friend, he messaged we on a group chat, and he messaged us a few months ago saying he doesn't necessarily need one, but he thought he'd go and see one. It's just like maintenance, or just a check-in, just stuff like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing to do that as well. If you're not really struggling that much, but you just want to go and talk to someone, before it gets too deep.
There's
Um,
I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy called Simon Sinek. He's
I, I know the name. The
uh,
name's quite familiar.
he's sort of like a motivational speaker, but
Yeah,
he's been on Diary of a CEO podcast by Stephen Bartlett a few
yeah,
times. He's written a book with Start With Why. And one of the things I believe he said on a podcast was he's got a partner, he's with a partner, and there's nothing wrong in their relationship. There's absolutely nothing wrong. They're happy, but they still go see a counselor. And
mm,
the reason for that was to make sure that they're both aligned, they both have the same mission, they both have the same vision. And
yeah,
that I thought to myself, wow, it's like
yeah,
maintenance, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
nothing's broken, but
yeah,
you're kind of being preventive for anything to break in the future.
yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
It is a good idea. I have to do the same with my back.
Have you messed it up?
My back's been done for years, mate, years, and my neck. So every now and again, I have a flare up or a spasm or something. But if I have regular maintenance, it then usually stops it getting to that stage. So it's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Really, I think.
Well, can I give a shout out to someone then? I've got a therapist, right? And she does back massages and stuff like that. And I tell you something, Jim, she is incredible. I've been going to her for about 8 years, right?
Yeah.
And when I mean amazing, she will make you go blue in the face, but you'll feel incredible after. Her
Yeah.
name's Eva, and she works in St. Paul's. So if you want, I can send you her details. And she is out of this world. She's
Okay.
amazing. But
Fair
she'll
play.
give she's fairly small, but oh my God, she will make you cry.
No, mate, I like the pain. The pain is weirdly good, isn't it? It's weirdly
It is.
satisfying. Yeah, yeah.
It is.
Um, so what about the conversation? So you're on a bit of a mission. Let's go on a bit more about Onward Shift. What makes your approach different from other mental health services targeting our industry?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, I don't see anyone as competition.
Right.
I'm not in a completely non-arrogant way. I think we've all got a purpose in the industry,
Mm,
and sadly, and this is truly sadly, there's so many people to help. We
mm,
actually, in my opinion, we need more people to come into the construction industry, more companies, more tradespeople to actually come in and go, we've got a story to share, we've got a pain to share, we've got something that has affected us, we now want to help other people with. We've got 2 million people in this industry. Around the world, there's 220 million people in this industry. We need more people coming in to support mental health. So
yeah.
what makes us different is, you know, I think we all have the same vision, from you to me to some of the biggest charities like Lighthouse, Mates in Mind, Band of Builders. We all have the same mission. We want to improve mental well-being and we want to reduce the suicide rates. And
Yeah.
we're all in the same boat. I guess the only difference with Onward Shift is, I believe to this day, we are the first company from the private sector to step in and offer a different approach without having a charity behind us or being a charity. So we're the
Right.
first private company which will offer, you know, we've actually got 17 different services. So we've got from obviously the podcast, the blogs, we've got toolbox talks, we've got 5 divisions in coaching, we've got 3 divisions in counseling, we've got keynote speakers. So we've got about 17 different services, and
Yeah.
we kind of go down the line of, you can pick a mix, whatever best suits you, we can accommodate.
Yeah. So let's talk about those then. So you've got free and paid services, haven't you? Um,
Yeah, that's right.
what's available to people who might be struggling financially?
Financially, you can listen to a blog. So we've done blogs. Sorry, listen to a blog. You can listen to a podcast
Yeah.
where we've actually collaborated with. Apologies, I actually can't remember the company name. It's completely. Money First Aiders. There you go.
Okay.
Bang.
Yeah.
Money First Aiders. We've collaborated with them. We've done a podcast with them, and I think they're a fantastic company supporting construction workers with financial well-being. And we've also written some blogs
Mhm.
around financial well-being, and we have got coaches as well who you can go to. Let's say you're struggling with, figuring out your money. There's usually a chance it's not your money that's the problem, it's you. You might have bad spending habits. You might not understand what saving is. You may not understand. You may be struggling with certain aspects of your life, credit and things like that. We can have life coaches and career coaches and business coaches who can help you create a financial model, but they're not financial advisors. They can just sort of support you and guide you and help you understand what's not going right.
Sure. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I noticed you have a check-in service as well. Can you explain what that is?
Absolutely. Yeah. So actually, that service has completely been revamped. It's being
Right.
revamped as we speak. So that service is, I'm going to actually remove that for a little while because what I want to do is I want to create an automated system which people can check into.
Yeah.
So we want to understand where you are on that specific day. Are you a one where you're really, really bad and you need to seek support from maybe Samaritans straight away? So
Yeah.
that would be like the people who are like at that suicidal thoughts stage of the 27% of the industry. And then if you're a number five, you're in a really happy place, and we want to keep you there. We want to make sure you're happy there. So we might just send you a keep going message. You're doing really well, encourage you and empower you to continue. But what I really want to do with that is automate it. So people are getting responses within milliseconds. It's just you send a message, you're getting one straight back. Now
Mm,
that takes time. And
mm,
to be completely honest, I'm an electrician. I'm not some tech guy.
mm.
I'm learning about all of this, and it's a goddamn process. I'll tell you that. Yeah, bear with me on that one. It is there, but at the moment, I will personally respond. But in the future, I would like it to be a
Right.
lot more quicker. Yeah.
Um, Considering the amount of people who who don't like to talk or don't like to reach out, who like to keep quiet about their struggles, how much interaction do you get on you, particularly free services? Do you get much feedback or interaction, or people use the services?
Yeah, so funny enough, the blogs we've had quite good feedback on.
Yeah.
We've actually collaborated with a couple of companies who are now sharing our free services, including councils, which is really awesome. Podcasts, we've had over 3,500 listens now, and
Okay.
the shorts have gone over, I'm going to say 28,000 or something like that. So
Okay.
that's really like that brings me joy because it makes me realize people are listening and people are taking on board what we're saying. And yeah, we've got the walk and talk events. Funnily
Yes.
enough, the first person to attend was a female electrician, and
Okay.
I was like, wicked, yes, absolutely. We don't just support men, we want equality throughout the industry. So it was so nice having a female electrician come on board. It was wicked. It's so
So,
nice.
what's that? What's the walk and talk event?
It's basically I'm really fortunate around my area. It's literally forests and
Right.
fields, so it's beautiful, and we get to see muntjac deers and
Yeah.
kites and loads of different birds. It's really nice. So all it is, it's the first Wednesday of every month. We'll meet up and we'll go for a walk.
Mm.
And when it's nighttime, we will go through, street lights type of street. So there's
Mm.
lighting and the safety. But during, the summer periods like now, we'll go through the countryside and we'll go for a walk and we'll just chat. And sometimes it's not even talking about mental health or anything like that. It could just be chatting about life or
Yeah.
what you're up to on the weekend. And it's just, you know, and this isn't just for men. I'm a strong believer of this, by the way. I know there's this male epidemic loneliness thing happening, but I also think women struggle with it as well. I think
Mm.
there's not enough community in this world anymore, and that's bloody heartbreaking.
Mm.
But the aim of the walk and talk event is just to go out, go for a walk, meet some new people. If you want to
Yeah.
come, come. If you don't want to come, then you don't have to come again. It's completely free of charge. Get some
Yeah.
exercise, have a chat. It's just
Yeah.
peaceful.
Wicked. Is that mainly people from that Colchester area? You're from Colchester area. Is it mainly people from that area that attend, or do people travel from afar?
Honestly, it's just Colchester at the moment
Right.
because, to be honest with you, Onward Shift has been a project which I've funded myself, so I don't
Yeah.
have investors or anything like that. So, what my vision would be is in time I can actually offer that service in different areas. So,
Yeah.
right now it's Colchester, but maybe in a few months' time, I can offer it in Brentwood, and then maybe
Yeah,
one in Romford, or one in maybe even City of London somewhere, which is convenient for me to get to.
yeah.
So the vision is big, but you need the finances to back it up.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's not
Yeah,
easy. Yeah, it's not
it's
easy. Yeah,
not. It's not.
yeah, that's right. That's why I said about before I go on to the mental health thing, I need to be starting to making money on my construction cogs because I'm not making a penny on it at the moment, and it's not good. So, um, yeah. So your website mentions going from city to city, company to company, person by person. What does that grassroots approach look like in practice?
Yeah, absolutely. So we collaborate with councils because I think, yeah, we collaborate with councils because that's where I think we can make a big change because we
Yeah.
start speaking to mayors, we start actually having these conversations, and we start actually, you'll be surprised at how many people don't know about how much the construction industry is struggling.
Mm,
And I'll be honest, I've been in the industry 15 years. And when I found out there's been 7,000 UK suicides from the construction industry in the last decade, I didn't know. I
mm,
really didn't know. It's only now it's coming to light. And when I'm speaking to people who are quite high up, they don't know about it either. But when they do hear about it, it's really nice to hear that they want to support the industry.
right.
So that's what I mean by city to by city,
Gotcha.
company by company. I just want to be there at the company. For if a company needs help and support, I just want to be there and say, look, we're not going to be badgering you and selling you every 20 seconds or trying to upsell you. It's nothing like that. It's a relaxed service. I
Yeah.
don't want to be badgering you. I don't want to be pushing you. I don't want to be forcing a sale on you.
Yeah.
I want you to realize that the industry is in a bad place. And I want you and me to collaborate and find a way to make things better. It's not about hard sales and badgering people with 50,000 emails. And I don't think it should be that way. So, yeah, and the best way I do that is by offering people resource packs.
Yeah.
So I've given out God's nearly 100 resource packs to different companies, and yeah, they can use it. And when they're ready, and if they don't want to use it, at least they know that there's a place they can go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
Yeah.
person by person, we also kind of speak to just individual people.
Mm,
Like if there's a building site, I will walk onto that building site or anywhere I'm allowed to go,
mm,
and I'll just chat to people,
mm.
and I'll just say, how are you feeling today? This is, by the way, this is an initiative that I'm running. Check it out. It's there.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you want to book a coach or a counselor, it's so easy. It's so, so easy. We're actually going to be automating a booking system soon. So you won't even need to email Onward Shift if you want to book in a coach or a
Mm,
counselor. You just do it through the online portal. So that's
mm.
actually happening in the background as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice one. Nice one. Have you ever, when you're having conversations about mental health with industries or companies or councils or anything, have you ever had any pushback from it?
No, I've had a lot of questions, and not questions of doubt, but questions that are coming from a place of curiosity.
Yeah.
I think that's really good because
Yeah.
that means it's struck a nerve. And if people are curious, then that's brilliant. That's the place we want people to be because that's where they're going to most likely be invested emotionally into it. And that's what we want. We
Yeah.
don't, yeah, that's exactly what we want.
Yeah. No, definitely. 100%. Yeah. Curiosity is girl, even in in life in general, I think definitely. I even say to my kids when they're constantly asking, when they were younger, when they're constantly asking questions all the time, it's a real pain in the ass, but don't stop doing that.
100%, 100%.
For site managers or companies listening who want to support their crews but don't know how or where to start, what are three practical steps that they can implement tomorrow?
Don't rush into anything because I think that's the worst thing you can do because you have
Mm,
to go in with it with an open mind and an open heart. If I was speaking to a site manager now, I would say do some research. Don't it doesn't have to be Onward Shift. It could be the Lighthouse Charity, Mates in
mm,
Mind. It could be anywhere. Just Google it, right? There's so much resources out there. Just research it, and it doesn't have to be. When you sometimes say to people, you have to research this, they go, "Oh my God, that's another 7 hours of my, week gone."
mm.
No, no, no. This can be a 20-minute read of a quick article or whatever. Just research it and learn about it. And then the second step I would say is reach out. Reach out to anyone. Reach out
Yeah,
to a colleague, reach out to a company, reach out to your HR department, see if you've already got systems in place. Because a lot of companies have employees assistance programs.
yeah,
That's fantastic. Make use of them.
yeah,
Absolutely make use of them. And I think the last step would be, I think you've got the confidence now, you've got the knowledge, you've got the confidence. You can ping Onward Shift an email and someone will get back to you. Or you can ping another company an email. Just find the support because there's lots out there. There is lots out there.
Yeah, there is. And the thing is, it has to go further than managers and construction owners. It's got to be a cultural thing, isn't it? A cultural change and a cultural implementation, especially as many workers aren't. You say about you, what did you call it? The employer, what was it you
Assistance
said?
program,
Yeah,
EAPs.
employee assistance programs. Yeah, so a lot of so there's a lot of self-employed people out there, or subcontractors who don't have that accessibility to these kinds of benefits when you're employed. So if we can make a cultural change, then that's even better.
Jim, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
So, okay, here's my thought process, right? And I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Do we start at the top or do we start at the bottom when it comes to providing mental health support or building awareness? Where do we start?
That's a tricky one. That is. I think that is really tricky. I think it's important for both. I think the higher the better, really. The higher, because the problem is a lot of these programs, a lot of these things that these companies are providing, a lot of it's tick boxing, a lot of it's lip service. A lot of these companies, they're doing this, doing or saying the right thing on social media, but that post's done and then that's it. But if we can get people really high up that can implement actions and get things in place and then filter that down, that would be really beneficial for the people on the ground. But then the people on the ground have got to know where they can go and know that they can go to the right places, know that they can go to mental health first aiders or reach out to people like you or anything and something like that. What do you think then?
So, I've done a lot of thinking on this, right?
Right.
And I think every single company is starting at the top. They're
Yeah.
doing the same thing. They're badgering CEOs, they're badgering
Yeah.
account directors, project managers, like they haven't got enough to do on their plate. And then I thought to myself, gosh, and again, this isn't my perfect answer to this because I don't have the solution. I wish I did, I
Right.
don't. But I think to myself, gosh, majority of the people who need this support are the people at the bottom. And if they don't even know it exists, how
Yeah.
are they going to be aware of it? And then all of a sudden, I'll put myself in a work on a construction site or in a workman site. Um, and I think to myself, if my supervisor or my project manager come up to me and said, "Fish, there's this initiative we're running. It's an employees assistance program. Go use it."
Mm.
I'm going to say to him, "All right, mate. Of course I will." And within about 2.5 minutes, I can't even remember what that
Mm.
employers what was it again? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Forget about it.
Yeah.
We can start with the CEOs and all of that, great, right? But by the time the message gets filtered down to the people who need it, the supervisors who are the notoriously bad for when it comes to mental health and QSs, I think it's just been filtered through and it becomes a tick box exercise because we're not actually going to the people who are struggling the most and saying, what do you want and how can we help you? But again, this is like what come first, the chicken or the egg type of situation. You
Yeah.
start at
Yeah.
the top because they're the decision makers, they're the money, they're the people who will distribute the money.
Yeah.
The people at the bottom are usually the ones who need the most help. So how do you start? I don't know. That's why I asked. I
Yeah.
don't
It
know.
is. Well, I think so. I've seen. So I'll give you an example. I've seen on some LinkedIn posts of like people who've been struggling. So they might have gone to their supervisor or managers for help, haven't really listened, and because they've been struggling so much, the management have actually gone to them and said, look, you need to sort yourself out. You're affecting the workforce. You're affecting your productivity, and stuff like that. So, that's not great, is it? So that's me thinking it needs to be higher up so that that culture needs to have that support, train that support network or that nurture mentality, I suppose you'd call it, for the people who are below, so that the people who are below can feel safe to go to these people, go to the higher up, go to the hierarchy and ask for support. That's what I'm
Mm.
thinking anyway.
Yeah, no,
Stuff like
absolutely.
that.
I think this is such an interesting conversation.
Yeah,
Because you're right. You're absolutely right. Like there's nothing you've said there which is incorrect.
yeah,
And it's it's like a it's like a funnel system, isn't it? all the people on the top get bombarded with messages, then it filters down to the people at the bottom, and then by the time it's got to the people right at the bottom,
Mm.
I don't know if that message is there or not. So I think there needs to be work where we're tackling both. But I
Mm.
don't know. That's something that I'm sure there'll be a solution to in a couple of years' time. Once there's more
Yeah,
research
it's a
around
good
it.
question though. It really is a tricky one. It really is. But I do think, yeah, I do think the real top people or companies or organisations, they're the ones we need to be tapping into because they don't just sort of make the decisions in their own company. It's kind of like they influence. So they influence what happens in the industry, if you know what I mean. And it becomes a cultural thing then. So yeah, if people can see the top organizations doing these things or implementing these things, then other people follow suit. And yeah, I think it's about manifesting that real support and that real kind of nurture environment for everybody to feel safe. But yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah,
We'll get there. We'll get
like you
there.
say, that there is probably is no right or wrong answer, but yeah, it is a whole thing, isn't it? Everything needs to be integrated.
Mm.
Um,
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
well, me and you,
I think all of us together will. We have to. We have to. We
yeah.
haven't got an option.
Um, So we mentioned earlier about all the stuff that you do, and not having enough time, your business, your work, your missus, your dog, your onward shift, your blog, your podcast. How do you look after your mental health when you're doing all this?
God damn it. I wish you didn't ask me that. You gotta go drop me in it like that. I don't manage it very well. I don't.
Right.
I'll be honest, I don't. Okay, that's a lie. I do manage it well enough where I'll be honest, I've recently just come out of burnout. So
Yeah.
when I mean burnout, I mean I really couldn't cope. I was going for like 2, 3 hour walks again because I just needed that fresh air. I was glued to my phone. Like when I mean glued, I mean the second I open my eyes would be like one eye open, reading
Mm,
stuff on my phone. It was a weird feeling. It was like my chest was feeling really tired. I don't know
mm,
how to explain it, but I was just really fatigued.
mhm,
And that was only about 2 months ago or 3 months ago now. And what I've recently changed in my routine is I wake up in the morning now and I go gym. And I'm not a morning person, so this is not a sales pitch from my end, but it has hugely changed my day. It really has. Started up, I've also deleted social media on my phone. So now I'm no longer waking up, going on social media and seeing my notifications. I'm
mhm.
waking up, I'm brushing my teeth, getting ready, and going to the gym. So I'm
Yeah.
starting on a positive. And again, social media, I can only do it on my laptop now. So it's not very accessible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, I was one of those people where I'll be on my phone like having a slash.
Right.
It was constant. It was just I just didn't get off it. I just
Yeah.
glued to it. But
Yeah.
now, as I said, I'll just spray it out there. My missus has got me doing face masks.
Okay. Nice.
So we spend time together doing face masks, eye masks, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And I've started reading again. I love reading. I'm currently reading The Courage to Be Disliked, and it's a fascinating book. It's a book about a young person and a philosopher basically hashing it out. The young person's negative about life, and the philosopher gives a different perspective when everything is negative about. And I think to
Mm,
myself, wow, that's an
mm.
incredible book. And I'm halfway through it, and it's fantastic. So those are the things that I'm doing.
So do you read just before you go to sleep?
I do, yeah,
Yeah.
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 15, 20 minutes, no more than that. I do an eye mask, read.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's really important. I try and do that because I got into the habit of just on my laptop until bedtime and that's it. And then your mind's still on stuff you haven't really closed off properly. So read just before you go to sleep and you kind of switch off from all that other stuff, just kind of wind down and just escape somewhere else for a little while. And in the morning, it's important, the first hour, don't look at your phone. Don't look at the screen for the first hour. Because you know, for that in that first hour, I think you have I think there's 5 things that can give you stress triggers. Looking at your phone, they're the things when you look at your phone, they're the things that are going to give you stress triggers. Like you might need it. There might be an email or something. There might be something you're thinking about at work or whatever that's stressing you out. So just give that first hour to yourself and nobody
absolutely.
else.
I love that. And do
Yeah.
you know, I think you've actually interviewed this gentleman, Stephen Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, great fella.
yeah, he's brilliant, and I've recently had him back on my podcast for the second time, and we spoke about what his morning routine was.
Mm.
So it's funny you asked me that, but yeah, his morning routine is the second he opens his eyes, he finds 7 things he's got gratitude for. It could
Yep.
be the blinds that are keeping the sunlight out. It could be the carpet on his feet as soon as he wakes up. It could be whatever it is that he
Yeah.
decides it should be.
Yeah.
And I haven't quite implemented that yet, but I think that's a fantastic idea. Imagine waking up in the morning and having gratitude for some of the basics the basics of life. How
Yeah.
beautiful is
Yeah.
that? I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, it's great. And even some people they think of things that they like about themselves, stuff like that. They do stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah,
I
it's
love
good.
that.
It's
I love it.
interesting. Let's talk about your podcast.
Okay,
Um, talk about you talk to people about mental health and about their mental health journeys. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
It's a great way of connecting with people and finding real people with real journeys and real life stories. How are you finding it?
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I promise you, there are times where I will finish a podcast with someone and go downstairs and need to hug my partner. Like
Mm,
I need to give her a big hug because I don't show it on my podcast, but I've heard some stories which are there for people to listen to.
mm,
But you hear the emotion in someone's voice who's been through something so traumatic.
mm.
It breaks my heart, Jim. It
Yeah.
breaks my heart. The only reason I do the podcast is because I believe the mission is bigger than myself. And I think there's how many opportunities do people have in their life from the construction industry to share a story that will be there forever? And
Mm,
I'm planning on Onward Shift being here after I die.
mm.
So their stories will be too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not exaggerating this, I promise you, there are times where after a podcast, I need a hug.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
just sit alone
Yeah.
because I'm like, that's a lot to digest.
Yeah. So you couldn't be a counsellor then?
Absolutely not. No,
Nah.
no, absolutely not, mate.
So you take a lot on board.
Yeah, I've got ADHD, so
Yeah.
people with ADHD they attach to emotions very quickly.
Right.
So when I hear some of these stories, and don't get me wrong, I think these stories are fantastic because it takes so much courage and so much confidence to come up and share something like what these people share. And
Mm,
I think the awareness that these stories have out of this world, you ain't going to get these stories from, apologies in advance for this, but you won't get these stories from people who've gone to university and studied these topics of mental
mm,
health. But the people who've walked this walk and struggle with, PTSD, anxiety, addiction,
mm,
stress, suicide thoughts. If I podcasted a gentleman called Alan Bates, and you hear his story, he wears a catheter. He's
mm,
scared to go on an airplane.
mm,
He's constantly scared of what other people think of him because of the way he walks, but he's got a
mm.
chronic illness.
Yeah.
So when you hear these stories and they share these stories, it's so much awareness in these podcasts. I feel so blessed to be in a position that people trust me with their stories.
Yeah. 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 Well, you're giving them a voice. Is it mainly people from construction? Is it only people from construction that you interview?
So the first batch of podcasts were just me,
Right.
and the second batch became more just influential people. So I've
Right.
got a female boxer on there.
Okay.
Yes, I've got really cool people. I've also got some of my coaches on there and counselors on there. And then the third batch are all from the construction industry, supporting the construction industry, still work in the construction industry. But we're actually venturing out a bit now. So our next podcast collaboration will be with a gambling company.
Okay.
And they're going to come on with somebody who struggled with gambling addiction
Right.
to talk about their experience. And I won't give too much away. Please do check it out. It will be launched in a month or so.
Huh?
It's going to be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, cool.
please do.
So is that going to be the same podcast or is that going to be like a second one filtering
No,
off?
no. Same,
Same
same.
one.
They're all under the Onward Shift name,
Right.
just different seasons. I guess you could call them series.
So when you reach out to potential guests, What's sort of like the common response? Are some people really hesitant and they don't want to, or are most people really eager to get on and share their stories?
I'll be perfectly honest. People come to Onward Shift. 1 out of 5 I'll reach out to. The others sort of come to us. So it's really, really, really fortunate. So yeah, I think it's because I don't put pressure on people. I
Yeah,
don't try, like similar to you, Jim. Like you've not once tried to catch me out. You've not once tried to make me slip up.
it's
And
not
it's just,
finished yet.
I've got myself right in it. All right, you can edit that out. No,
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's a place to share a story,
Yeah,
and it's their story. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
not.
Have you ever had any feedback from listeners saying your podcast or whatever he does has helped them with their mental health struggles or encouraged them to seek help?
Interestingly, we have.
Yeah,
I think the most heartfelt, it wasn't, I guess, a review you could call it. It was feedback. Was hard to listen to, but incredible.
right.
And that kind of made me think this is worth doing.
Yeah,
Okay. And I think that there's a gentleman called James Ford, and he's got this really nice ideology of life. It's not about trying to help 1,000 people. It's just about helping one person a day,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right, just one
Yeah, see,
person a day.
this is the thing. Like, I mean, the feedback is great because when I mean, we do a lot of work on it, and when it becomes difficult, and we question, like I question sometimes because I put so much work into what I do. You know, is it really worth it? I got to sit all the time I'm spending. So when you do get this feedback, it really does give you a lift, doesn't it? It really does like, yeah, that's good. That's I'm helping someone. But all these stories, they're relatable to somebody, aren't they? Someone out there can relate to something. So even if you're helping that one person, you know, that's a good thing, right? Yeah,
It's worth it. And
yeah,
here's a really interesting thing. In the book I'm reading at the moment, The Courage to Be Disliked, I've just last night with a face mask and an eye mask on,
yeah,
I read a chapter, and the chapter was basically saying you're in competition with no one but yourself, you
yeah,
know? So don't. So it was really interesting. It was the idea of if you see rubbish on the floor and you're picking it up, but you don't get anyone say thank you, would you continue picking up that rubbish from the floor? And the youth in the book said, well, absolutely not, because I'm not getting no recognition for it. And the philosopher's response was, why are you doing it for a reaction?
Can you give us an example of a really powerful story from your podcast?
I couldn't give you a example because I think every single one of them are a powerful story. So
Sure.
unfortunately not. I don't think I could put anyone
No, I
above or
get that.
below somebody else.
I get that. I get that. I often get, I don't know about you, but I often get quite anxious when setting up, not so much these days, but setting up for the interview, get anxious setting up for the interviews. And do you have a process of preparing yourself emotionally and physically before recording?
That's a really great question. Originally, yes,
Yeah.
I would basically just be shaking. If you watch my first podcast with a lady called Kate, you could actually see the sweat dripping off my head. It was actually just
Yeah.
you see it pouring off. It's just hilarious. But now, honestly, I trust my guests.
Yeah.
I trust myself, and I think I just go into it now. I don't.
Yeah.
I've been more stressed about this podcast with you than I
Really?
have, I have been flapping about. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
But the podcast I do now, I try something that I've argued with myself about is should I research the person before they come on the show?
Yeah.
And I did used to, but now I try not to because
Okay.
every conversation I have, I'm learning so much about that person, their
Yeah.
journey, what they're up to, what they
Yeah.
want to do, the challenges they've been through, how they've overcome them. I feel like sometimes if I research too much about it, I already know the answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it because I learn so much from these podcasts. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't stress as much as I used to.
Fair play. Fair
Yeah.
play. Yeah, follow play. So we're almost there now. That was the last proper question. I'll do this thing where I ask some nonsense questions at the end.
Love it. Let's do it.
Um, but firstly, before we do that, is there anything else you'd like to touch on?
Mate, honestly, I just want to say, like, I think the construction industry is one of the best industries out there. Even through all of my bad, negative days, weeks, and months, I've been in the industry for like 16, 15 years,
Yeah,
and I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I think the atmosphere is wicked. I think the people from all different walks of life are fantastic.
Yeah.
I genuinely just it feels like home for me. It feels I'm comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to. It feels weird saying that about work.
I know what you mean, because the thing is, I know we keep saying about, there's more, the construction industry has got the highest suicide rate than any industry in the country, blah, 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 blah. But it is great, isn't it? At the same time, the camaraderie, you're in the trenches with your pals, having a laugh, and you're in it together. When you're having hard days, you're having them together, you're getting through it together, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah,
Mate, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine an industry like the construction industry where mental health is prioritized just as much as health and safety? Imagine how incredible the industry can become.
yeah,
Imagine when equality is more prominent. Imagine when we have more women in the workforce.
yeah, yeah,
It's going to be incredible. The future for construction is
yeah.
going to be incredible. I promise you that. It's going to be incredible.
Pinky
Great.
promise.
Oh, mate, 100%. There's no other logical way to do this than a pinky, mate. There you go.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Right,
Oh,
let's do some nonsense questions then, all right?
go for it.
They're not too bad. It's just a bit of a laugh. So we know construction can be stressful, but it can also be a great laugh. I just said with camaraderie. What pranks have you had played on you?
Oh my God. Oh, so many stupid things. So many stupid. Go get me a glass hammer.
Yeah.
Go get me a left-handed screwdriver. I'm like, oh, mate, are you joking me? But these are the same things I've done to people as well. So,
Have you?
yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Good. Good.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I'd say those two are my favorite ones.
I remember, yeah, mate, I've done loads. I do. I'm a big kid at art, so I do loads of silly things. I was one time, I had an expanding foam. We were just sitting there in a little, I don't even know where we was. I was with my labourer, and we was just in this little tiny room, no bigger than a small toilet, just sitting there together. And I had an expanding foam, and I filled up the cap. I mean, what's that? What's that smell like? Smell that, and I just went donk, and I got his nose in it, and I just thought instantly, I just thought, oh shit, that's going to expand and go off in his nose. So he had it all up his nostril and everything, pulling hair out. And another one,
I bet he thanked you for that.
no, he weren't happy, but he found a funny side eventually. We shrink wrapped people's cars and sprayed the wheels like red, like clown feet and stuff like that. Put grease under the door handles, all that sort of shit. You,
Mate,
you got,
that's the fun side of it. That's the fun side of it. Of
yeah. You got to do this. These long days, you got to make the days go quick, haven't you?
course.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever found hidden inside a wall or ceiling during electrical work?
No, I haven't actually.
No,
I remember this one time in central London. I was taking down a light fitting and a dead mouse literally just landed on my chest. Oh, I was like, oh my good God. So yeah, just
no,
yeah, flicked it
yeah,
off
that was it.
and that was it. Dead mouse. And you got to remember, I'm an electrician, you know? I try my
Yeah,
best not to put myself in the positions where I get too dirty and things like that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Fair play. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Don't want to
yeah.
break a nail or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I suppose now you're having face masks and everything now. Um, if you could swap jobs with anyone for just one day, whose job would you try and why?
Oh my good God. Great question. I think I've got the best job in the industry. I'm an
Uh,
electrician.
really?
Yeah,
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 you going
yeah,
with that, are you?
yeah, 100%. Like
Not
I get to go
not
on.
even for one day of doing another job.
Well,
You meant to say crane driving.
definitely, I'm scared of heights.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
that's how we have a heart attack up there, mate. Also, I don't like peeing in a bottle. I think that's wrong.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how you guys do it.
Go over the side.
It was raining. It's not
Yeah,
raining.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, don't ever stand underneath a tail crane. Yeah.
No, definitely
All
not.
right then. So you got
You
the
know
best
what?
job.
Okay.
Go on.
If I had to do anything, I'd like to be a digger.
Okay.
I'd like to do that. I think that would be really fun, but only if I'm allowed to do it as the way I want to do it. So yeah.
You'd like to dig, or you'd like to be an actual digger?
No. I'd like to actually be in the machine that does the digging. So I
Oh,
want to
the digger
control
driver.
it.
You're a
Yeah,
digger
yeah.
driver, not the actual digger. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
No,
I used to be on the machines. That's good fun, actually. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think that
Um,
could be quite fun.
do you like music?
Love music.
If you had to choose a theme tune that played every time you walked onto a construction site, what would it be?
Oh my good God. Okay, so oh God, this is going to be such an electrician thing. I do face mask, I do eye mask. I don't want to break a nail. I don't want to get dirty. I listen to country love. All right, I'm just going to say it how it is. I listen to country love music day in, day out. That's it.
Country. So
Oh
country
God,
is that different to country music?
it's
Coun-
proper like just country music is more that whole dance. It can be line dancing. It can be all of that.
Right.
I just listen to the love side of it.
Oh, the ballad side. Ballad. Okay, fair play. That's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
So I guess
So
uh,
what is one? What's one that you listen to?
so okay, you know what? This is actually a song that I love, and I guess it's not too lovey-dovey.
Go on.
It's so this is a bit. Oh my God! As soon as my phone wants to work, I'll tell you. I think it's called "Once." A song that I don't know, relatable, I guess.
Can you hear that?
I can't. No, it must be in your headphones. No,
Right.
no. I reckon I can get it on my phone if you really, really
Go on then.
wanted to. Oh, mate, this is going to be terrible. What if I start singing along?
How can you not hear that? That's well loud.
Can you hear that? Oh, that is so strange.
Ain't that
What
weird?
if, yeah, maybe Zoom has this thing where they can't hear outside noise. I don't know.
That is well strange, isn't it? I don't
But
get it.
anyway,
I'll just put that right up to the mic as well. Oh well, never mind.
yeah,
Scratch
well, it's
that.
that song. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lee Bryce
Tell you
Drifting
what,
Past.
sing it for us then.
Not in this lifetime.
All right then. No worries. Next one. What's the most useless skill you secretly quite proud of having?
None of my skills are useless, Jim.
Really? Oh, okay.
No, majority of them are. You'd have to ask my missus that one because I'm sure she's got a list of them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a great one. I think this is a great one. You can give me a small container. I can almost guarantee you I'll be able to get the most stuff in it because I
Yeah.
love playing. I love playing Tetris with life. So if my missus, I'll give you a perfect example actually. The dishwasher.
Yeah.
I swear to you, it's quicker for me to wash the dishes by hand
Yeah.
than me putting everything in the dishwasher. Because I swear to you, I will get everything in the dishwasher. It will be my
Just,
life mission.
just strategically fill in all the gaps. Yeah.
Yeah,
On the same.
are
Isn't
you?
it weird? I do that with the washing when I'm putting the washing out. The amount of stuff I have to take stuff off the line and then put it over there and then move that around. Then it's sad, isn't it?
No, it's amazing. Honestly,
I'm
I've
not
got.
even OCD. I just
Are
don't
you
know.
not? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't know. I just like to get the optimum amount of drying space around each item, but as well as getting everything on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
My missus hates it because she's like, I'm wasting so much time. I'm like, that's what you think. But when I take these clothes off the rack,
Yeah,
it'll be in perfect order. The boxes, everything will
yeah,
be perfect.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Fair play, fair play.
she's probably right. But I don't. The drill. So nobody has to work again. Get the old hand drills back out.
Oh yeah, yeah, the old-fashioned ones.
You remember them? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
My old
no,
my old man's got a couple of them in the shed actually. Yeah,
no, they're brilliant.
yeah,
Forearms will be huge.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you ain't got one, no dangerous one, anything you just hate using or don't, or do you think is useless?
No,
Well,
I think majority of people know how to use tools sufficiently.
yeah.
So I trust people enough, I guess.
Fair play. Nice one. Well, that is it, mate. You are done. You got through that okay, even though you was anxious. You flew through it
Oh,
really good.
you tell my t-shirt that I've got to take this off and have a shower.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was great talking to you, mate. You keep doing what you're doing. You're doing really good work. We'll keep in touch. Keep putting that
Absolutely.
message out there, and hopefully you'll get bigger and collaborate with more people and and do more stuff.
And Jim, before I go, I just want to say, one, you've you're doing an incredible job, mate. You don't
Thanks,
give
mate.
yourself enough credit. And two, if there's anything I can do introduction wise for any of your podcasts, your
Yeah,
blogs, if there's anything I can do to help you or support you, mate, just reach out, drop me a text, and I'll
yeah.
try my best to make things happen. I really
Appreciate
love what you're doing, and you're a great bloke.
appreciate it, brother. Likewise, likewise. Lastly, where can people find you?
Me personally or the company? Company is onwardshift.com or
Yeah.
.co.uk, and me, LinkedIn is the only social media platform that I'm actively on now.
Right.
So, and even now, I'm not as active as I used to be. But LinkedIn would be the best place.
Cool. Wicked. Nice one, mate. Well, enjoy the rest of your
Amazing.
day, and
Absolutely.
I'll speak to you
Yeah.
soon.
Take care, man.
Take care.
See ya. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Honestly, the more people we reach, the more support we can offer. And don't forget, Onward Shift isn't just a podcast. We've got a number of resources on our website, so please don't forget to check out www.onwardshift.com, where you'll find counsellors, keynote speakers, coaches, blogs, and so much more. Until next time, don't forget to keep having these important conversations.